Good morning, everyone. So I think it's pretty sufficient to say I'm not going to be getting this one out before 11 a.m. like I try to, but it will be going out nonetheless. In any case, we've got the rabbit pelt there, and you know today is Runecasting Wednesday, and that means it's all about the Norse gods and the runes today. So, I want to get right into it today. Not a whole lot to announce aside from the books I've ordered have started to come in, and the first batch came in kind of late last night. I've never known the U.S. Postal Service to deliver mail at almost 9 p.m. I was kind of hoping they'd be here when I got home, but yeah, they got here. Little dinged up, but not too bad, you know. In fact, I read one of them, Star Adventures by RPG Pundit. He's also on YouTube and also on Twitter. And I'm going to say this: if the rest of his games are half as good as this one, he makes some pretty good games. Also appeared on our tribal podcast, which went on for 4 hours, so that's going to be turned into a two-parter. We're going to do another part 4, pretty soon after all the books have come in. That way I can show them off, shout them out, and do all that properly, because without them I tend to forget names. So anyway, another thing, if you would like a personal reading, that's all down below. You just send me something off of the two wish lists in my link tree there. You only have to pick one. You don't have to send something from both. And then you give me a name. It could be any name. It could be an assumed name, and just a month and day of your birth, or the person that you're giving this as a gift to, and they'll get 2 readings, so they can ask me 2 questions at any time, and a birthday reading. Pretty cool, huh? I say keep it $35 and under if you can. Don't break your bank. Completely voluntary. If you just enjoy the free readings here, that's cool too. I am good with doing them. I do them every day, Monday through Friday, so it doesn't matter. Okay? Alright, let's get right down into it. So, I'm going to start with you, like we do every day. Starting with you. You are embodying the sacrifices. You have 2 halls here. The Halls of Valhall, also known as the Hall of the Slain, where the Einherjar reside. Those are Odin's warriors. Then you have Sessrumnir. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I've said this before, but if you're just joining us on this channel for the first time, welcome. I hope that this reading helps. You have a second hall, the Hall of Sessrumnir, and that is Freya's hall. And Freya is the one to choose from the slain in battle first. Not many people know that. A lot of people tend to think that you know, there's this big battle, there are all these bodies on the field, and Odin just sweeps in and just gathers all of the slain up, and that's not true. The first thing that happens is Freya goes in and she gathers her first half. She gets first pick. Odin has to come in and get what's left. That was the price he paid for learning Seith from Freya. Also, just as an aside, learning Seith, or magic, in those times was considered unmanly. My, how things have changed. Now, what you're being guided by, somehow I thought this would come up today. The Well of Weird, which lets you know magic is actually a real force in the world. However, and I kept getting this as I was making tea today. By the way, the tea is excellent. I hope you're having your coffee with me, or your orange juice, or just breakfast, or whatever. I hope you're comfortable and relaxed, because that's what we're trying to be right now. But you've heard the term as if by magic. Now, culturally, we've come to expect magic to mean that we are going to deal with forces unseen that will just intercede on our behalf. And all we have to do is take a magic wand and wave it. You know, say abracadabra or the proper magic words, and boom, it's so. Not quite. You see, there's another message with the Well of Weird. And the Well of Weird, or Well of Erd, tells us that we are a force in our own lives. You have to be able to put in the work in order to manifest the things that you want into reality. That means making sacrifices at times. And so right now, what we're looking at is you are embodying your sacrifices. You're putting in that work. That is key to all of these runes, which are going to be revealed right now, because your present situation is that you have gifts. You have gifts, talents, and abilities. You can either choose to ignore them, or you can choose to develop them. And when you develop them in service to others, you can see results. And, dare I say it, as if by magic. But your action comes with unsus. We've got Odin's rune on Odin's day. Unsus. Communication. Sharing the knowledge. Sharing what you know. Sharing your tips, your tricks. All those things that make you a powerhouse in whatever it is you're doing. In what you're doing, say with, as an example, at work, there was a guy there who used to teach me all kind of little shortcuts, things that would shave off some time and they would work even better. But that had to be the criteria. I talked to him about it one time. He said, no, you can't just take a shortcut. It has to work as well, if not better. If it doesn't do either of those two, you cannot shave that time off. You have to take your time. And that's when a lot of what he did made a lot of sense to me, and I started kind of watching him, and, you know, I would occasionally show him some things I found. Then there were people I trained that showed me things that they found. And the common thread that they had was they shaved a little time off, but they worked as well, if not better. Now, that's how you share your gifts. You know, we all rise by pulling each other up. We don't sit there and just try to tear someone else down. And it seems like there's been a lot of that going on lately. Best to stay away from that for today, because this is the outcome here. We've got manas. Ladies and gentlemen, humanity is at stake. But this is also the card of your insight. You know, what insights will you gain from that? What insights will you gain from treating someone else like a straight up human being? I've said this before. There was this is something I really haven't shared on this channel. One thing I will share now is I was actually part of a group, and occasionally questions were posed. How do you deal with this person expressing an interest in what you're interested in? Well, to me, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where they come from. If they express an interest, I treat them like a human being. You know, here's a little bit of runes by Cassandra Eason. Here's Runes of the Gods by Witcharoo. Here's the Viking Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. If you really want to learn this kind of thing, I suggest starting there. And if you never move from there, that's fine. But at least there you'll get one of the most in-depth I mean, these books are not very big, ladies and gentlemen, but you'll get the most in-depth look at them. And also, Dr. Jackson Crawford's The Poetic Edda, because much about the runes, in terms of their magic and divination, is in there. Later on, we can expand into more, stuff. But that's why I would do it. I would just treat them like any human being. When I was told that's not enough, I left that group. Remember, if everything you do is not good enough for someone, do nothing for them. Use your gifts where they're going to be the most effective today. But remember, stay humble. Stay humble when dealing with others, because that's where you're going to gain the most insight. You'll get a look right into that person, and you'll wonder how you did it. And just be very, very clear about what you're communicating. That's really it. That's the secret. However, it is going to take some of us coming out of our shells a bit. And that's what we're sacrificing. We're stepping out of our comfort zones. And we're really enacting that force of magic in our lives. Today's going to be a day of magic, ladies and gentlemen. And the question is, how do you use yours? That's why I put it right there in that lower third all the time. Believe in your own magic. Something else that came to mind, and I'll close out on this. If you've never seen the movie Willow, I do recommend it. Even today, it's a great movie. And there's a scene in the movie where Willow Ufgood, the main character, meets with the High Aldwin. He is the sorcerer of the community, and he says, "Which finger does the magic reside in?" And Willow and a few others do select a finger, and as they select a finger, High Aldwin curls it in, and he says, "There will be no new apprentice this year." And he makes his way off. Now, during the journey, in another scene, Willow and the High Aldwin are talking, and he says, "I almost said that the real magic lies within you." And the High Aldwin smiled and winked at him. He's like, "That's the answer." I'm going to let that sink in. I hope you got it. Because I just wanted to say, I love you all. All I want from you today is to take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, my friends, shine on.